their time down just that much lower.
Well, in there we saw Scavenger get a 200 bag drop from one of the orange Dyras. That's really good for him. He's not at the point where he could take a magic or life level yet. Now he had the option to, and decided to go with attack 4, but next time the prompt comes up, he probably could take at least magic 2, if not life 3. I mean, magic 2 would be a bit safer. But that
I
would
think
give
this
him
is
it's
either panic or quality options.
It's quality options. Quality picnic, guys. Quality picnic. And you see
Pierpont's in the lead, I think, at this point.
Yep, he sure is. Scav just behind him, same room. Up to attack 4 now, so they're both the same in terms of their attack power. Scavenger really lucked out getting that 200 bag from the first drop. This is his second drop opportunity. I think the second guy in this room, or did I already miss it from the red one, the red Dyra earlier?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you must
I
have.
guess we did.
We must have. It was the red Dyra earlier was the drop. I didn't see what it was though.
Well, maybe he left it there, and we'll see it on the way back.
No, I mean it was in the other room.
Oh, it's the previous room. Okay.
It's got to be experience. If he's only 400 something away from Pierpont, so he must have gotten a 200 bag from that one as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pierpont got 2 jars in Death Mountain, so they're actually kind of even. You obviously want the experience earlier rather than later, but in terms of overall totals, they're pretty close here.
Yep. And I think that means Scav can now afford to take something besides just Magic 1 Life 2. But at this point, there's not a lot of danger, so he may be okay with what he's got now, although he does need to... Well, he's going to get a magic refill from this thing. So as long as he doesn't need to cast the life spell at any point, he should be fine all the way up to Fairy Town. Alright, we see Pierpont going into both caves. And that avoids all the monsters. Scav only goes into one cave, and he has to do... Oh, and of course he gets a bad pattern. I'm in favor of doing it the way Scav did it, but it's pretty... it's, I think, kind of unlikely that you're going to run into monsters there, but if you want to be 100% safe, you can go into that other cave. It's weird. It seems like it's been happening to people in the race who skipped that second cave more often than it happens to me when I skip that second cave. I don't know if I've just got good luck or
You're just
maybe
so
a selective
good.
memory.
La-di-da.
I think I just got selective memory.
Yeah, maybe.
I tune out the times that it doesn't work. So, oh, that's a fluke. Alright, Pierpont dealing with bubbles plus red Dyra. And Scav, of course, scrounging up every bit of experience he can. Who gets the graveyard one up? It's my favorite game. Pierpont gets it. It's going to set him back about 6 seconds, maybe. A little more than that, 7 seconds, but...
Comes on the game show channel at 2 in the morning. Who gets the graveyard one?
Well, Scavenger does not get it. Pierpont doesn't get hit, and he doesn't get an intentional hit next to the boulder. He's going to need to take an extra 10 steps if he wants to get this. Oh, I don't know if that was enough, man. He needed 2 more. He took an extra 8 steps.
And then just ran right into the encounter anyway.
Yep, watch on Scavenger's screen.
So he's going to get one here in the swamp. Yep.
Oh, he manages. I thought he was going to avoid it, but yeah, he gets one right there. And if you watch on Scavenger's screen, he's going to be just fine.
Yep, 1, 2.
Oh, Troll Fairy.
Oh! He tried to avoid the fairy and ended up getting caught by the monster there. So, he had a chance to get even there, but with this pair of encounters, he's right back where he was.
Yeah, and you're right, it was the fairy, not directly, but he saw that the fairy was over there, and that's something that you have to avoid. Because that fairy will behave very erratically.
He's really low on life here, and he does not have the magic to cast life, so he might take a death here.
I would if I were him. You just gotta get through this, and then he takes a death. Pierpont's stream, on the other hand...
Yeah, it's done that for me too.
Let's see... Let me know when it's back up.
Oh, I forget. How do I get the command prompt to stop doing what it's doing again?
Control C.
Beautiful. So Pierpont should be up.
Got him.
And they're both grabbing the 1-up at the same time, but I don't know if I'm all the way advanced yet. Probably not.
Sorry guys, I just deleted the wrong scene object.
Oh, good.
Alright, here, let me get Scav's screen up first. Or, I mean, Pierpont's screen up first, and then we'll worry about this other stuff.
Seems like he's got about a 7-second lead here. Going into Mido, Fairy Town is what everyone else calls it. It's the town where you get the fairy spell. Fairy is an adorable spell that turns Link into a little fairy with these cute wings and sound effects. But mostly it's useful because you can fly! Definitely the only Zelda game where Link turns into a fairy. They also get down stab here, very useful technique that opens up a lot of doors, basically. A lot of options in combat versus all kinds of enemies. You're going to see it put to use throughout the run. Looks like Pierpont got a 200 bag at some point. He's doing really good on experience. Extra magic level, extra life level, and 500 experience in the bank over Scavenger. So they're on their way to Palace 2 here, but they're going to detour for this heart container.
You see Scavenger walking off the path a little bit to try to spawn the monsters early so they wouldn't bother him on the way to the cave. And both he and Pierpont managed to make it into the cave without an encounter. They took very different approaches, both successful though.
Pierpont waiting for a 200 bag drop there.
Yeah, he was probably hoping for a red jar. People like to have their 200 drop, or their large 6 drop be right there so they can get a refill of magic and cast Fairy as they pick up the heart container.
Which Scavenger had the magic to do.
And that got him right caught back up again with Pierpont. They're dead even. It's like we're watching identical copies of the stream. Ooh, Pierpont in an encounter. Scav, though, gets the manipulation. There's going to be enemies spawning there on the path. Pierpont, again, taking an intentional encounter there on the path. Scav's going for it. The last spawn happens just late enough that he manages to make it into Palace 2. That was really close.
Pierpont opting for another path encounter. Not going to stop there, going to keep going. He's in there too. So I think Scavenger's going to be okay on experience. He's going to need to stop and kill some things here that Pierpont can skip. And so you're probably going to see his lead slip away. Just a little bit here and there. Especially if Pierpont gets attack 5 soon. That's going to start saving time in some of these combat encounters.
Well, Scav doing pretty well on experience. He chose not to take any level ups of magic or life. I think he'll certainly be okay on experience coming out of this palace. It'll be interesting to see how he compensates for the low magic and low life levels in palaces 3 and 4.
Yeah, on the one hand, you can't use your. I mean, you're more likely to die for one. You get less casts of the life spell, but on the other hand, you do get more opportunities to refill your magic and life because you have those 2 extra levels you can take.
Wow, well, Scav just got yet another 200 bags. So at this point, I think he could probably take Magic 2 and Life 3 here.
We'll see if he's confident enough to do that.
Yep. Well, first things first, he'll probably just end up taking the next attack level, because that'll make everything go a lot smoother. Does the fairy strats there. This is kind of a rough bridge to get over. Sometimes with some really bad bot patterns, you can end up in the lava. Pierpont does not have a beam sword, so he's got to...
Oh man.
He's just going to cast jump.
That bot tried to bait him in real good too. He's like, I'm going left, here's you got plenty of space. Yeah!
So this part's tough with the jump, the spot that you see Pierpont taking a hit in. Jump makes the rest of the room easier, but it makes that one dropper a lot harder to pass. Scav gets a refill of magic that's guaranteed drop every time you hit that statue head. Well, the first time you hit that statue head, it will be a red jar.
More experience for Pierpont.
Yeah. Pierpont's about to take his attack 5. Scav's got a little longer to wait. Pierpont could get it from this room right here if he decided to kill everything.
There's also that 50p bag, assuming the blocks let him pick it up.
Yeah, that's true. He'll probably get it there then. Scav not...
Oh! That's life 2. If he had life 3, he would not be dead in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really tricky to jackhammer the red iron knuckles, so you see these ones being fought the normal way. Once we get into Palace 3, we'll start explaining the jackhammer move, but that's a way that you would often fight iron knuckles in a low-ceilinged area, but doesn't work on those ones. Both players ferrying to pick up that glove. Scavenger's still ahead of Pierpont, even though now he is down a life, so he's gonna have to play the rest of his game a little bit differently to compensate for that.
Yeah, we are gonna see that start to catch up with him at some point and cost him additional time.
Yeah, if no one else has any accidental deaths, then Palace 4 is when we're gonna see that one start to work its way out. But for now, both players still in good position. Scav going back for another P-bag. Well, he's definitely going to want to take some magic and life levels at this point. Probably didn't even need that.
He saw what it's like to have it life 2. He's thinking, I don't want to be here anymore.
I mean, I think he's already got it. It's just a matter of getting up to the point where it'll let him take it. You can only choose to spend experience on level ups when one of the experience thresholds for the next level up is passed. So only when you hit certain key values will the game even let you go into your level up menu. And Scav got a despawn of that skull bubble, so he didn't have to do the hesitation there. There's his attack level. He's probably right to take the attack level before this Doom Knocker, or Doom Rattler rather.
Yeah.
He gets a better pattern than Pierpont had. And yeah, just 2 hits to kill that thing, right? Or was it 3 with a double hit? I wasn't quite sure.
I think it was 2.
It was 2. And so yeah, he's pretty much even with Pierpont.
Shadow Tiger Twitch in chat. Seed basically is how people are put into the brackets in a tournament, and it's based off of their best time, basically. So the goal of it is to make sure that the people with the fastest times are more spread out. They don't run into each other early, and that way they're more likely to get further in the tournament, and you won't have those clashing of the Pierpont.
Yep, he tried to go the hard way down to get the 100 bag. If you want to get the 100 bag, do it the way. Whoa! So what is Scavenger doing? Is he just
okay?
He's just goofing around, or maybe he just wanted a really safe way of jumping down there without having to worry about falling in the lava. I mean, that could be it. The thing that Pierpont wanted to do would be to just stand directly above that 50 bag and wait till the floor disappears.
Yeah. Well, Well, they're even,
Very even.
very
going
close to
Helmet
even
Head.
on both time and experience and resources and everything.
Wow, Scav going all out there, doing multi-hits, and then trying to end with the down stab while against the edge of the screen. Very, very top-tier strats there. Pierpont taking more traditional, more easy strats, and ended up getting a pretty clean fight. So not that much of a difference between the two methods time-wise, but
Scavs looked better.
yeah, well, Scabs looked cooler, and you know, once your PB gets down low enough, you really start to care about a second here, a second there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Whoop.
now, what is happening?
Pierpont dodging all these encounters.
Let's see if he can get into the graveyard. He'll probably take a path encounter, and he should be good to go right here. He can just head straight south. He'll get the next encounter on the path next to the King's Tomb.
Scavenger getting its third encounter, I think, coming out of this palace.
Pierpont actually had some late encounters there, so he went into the King's Tomb, which is just as good. But yeah, Scav just getting bombarded, and he manages to get to the tomb without another set of encounters, so that's good for him. And now he is about a room and a half behind Pierpont, maybe a room behind Pierpont.
So I think that's a pretty good illustration of where you want to focus your efforts when you're learning to speedrun this game. Scavenger did some high-level strats on Helmet Head, you know, some crazy double hits and some down stabs and everything. Saved maybe a second. Then, due to bad encounter luck, bad encounter manipulation, lost 20-30 seconds. So it's really almost kind of unfair how much these overworld encounters can influence your time, and it's one of the reasons why so many runners have put so much time and effort into looking into ways to control these monsters and manipulate them and get through these overworld sections cleanly.
Yeah, it is a bit unfair because the encounters in the overworld are going to save you so much more time if you can deal with those things properly than any amount of risky boss strats. I mean, someone who uses the most simple, easy boss strats can still win one of these races just by getting very few encounters, just by getting really good at encounter manipulations. And the worst part is that you can't even guarantee that you're going to get the encounter manipulations. You can only just improve your chances, you know, having better average encounter time. But that's one of the things that makes it an exciting race, because even among two players with very different PBs, one can have better luck than the other.
Yep, just about anything can happen here.
Right, but it's the kind of luck that you can set up. You stack the odds in your favor. And Scav taking Magic 3. Probably would have liked to get that a little bit later, somewhere around the raft room.
Pierpont playing it safe, shooing the spot away from the ledge. Come on. Come on.
There we go, you're safe now. Of course it jumps off the other side. So yeah, Pierpont not trying to take any chances here. He, I think, knows that he's got the lead, and so he doesn't want to end up with an accidental death there.
Yeah, but playing like that is a really good way to lose that lead. So, I mean, if he was ahead by 2 minutes, yes, absolutely. Make sure you don't die, make sure you don't game over. But when you're ahead by 20 seconds like this, it's stuff like that that can come back to haunt you.
And it's true if Scav's going all out, which so far he's showing every indication that he's willing to go all out in terms of the strats that he uses. Yeah, Scav goes all out, he could easily make up this time. 1 second here, 1 second there. Pierpont using jump on the way back. That's a good plan. Makes this room a lot safer, and you don't have to slow down for anything. Scav not quite able to get the jackhammer to work, but he didn't take too much damage in the process, and he can afford to cast Fairy, and he'll probably also cast Jump again on the way out to make that room safer. Pierpont going for a red, hopefully a red jar drop from that statue, but ended up getting an Iron Knuckle instead, but that Iron Knuckle dropped a 200 bag.
Yep, so misses 2 jar drops there.
Right, and I was going to say that doesn't really help him much, but he's a life 4 guy, so when you're at life 4 you need quite a bit more experience in this palace. Well, no, you need 100 more experience in this palace. Scav goes for the red jar and actually gets it. So he gets a free cast of life there.
Yeah, things are going his way, and he's rapidly making up ground here in Palace 3.
Pierpont digging. Good pattern.
Yep.
Scav's
We've
gotta
seen
think
players run into some real bad situations in that room, but Pierpont's in and out clean.
Yep, Scav went with life 4 there.
So now he, too, is looking for quite a lot of experience.
Yeah, he's going to need 800, I think, is the threshold for the next life level. So he needs to... Well, yeah, he'll be alright. He needs to go into the boss room with about 500, with 499 entering the boss room. Whereas, yeah, Pierpont's in the same boat. He's going to need 499 entering, which he's already got. He's got 531.
Yeah, if necessary, Scav can detour and kill that blue iron knuckle. He really needs experience.
Right. Yeah, Pierpont with 631, he wouldn't have had enough if he didn't get that 200 bag drop, which is why a lot of people don't like the life 4 strats. And he stands in the right spot, gets the first hit, pinned against the left side of the wall.
Get under.
He gets under, goes a little bit past.
Goes too far.
He can get in. Oh, casts. He's got to cast something here. Oh, yeah, he does have shield going. There we go, gets that last hit in. It's really tough to get the Iron Knuckle to close that distance. It'll back up just as fast as you approach it. So trying to close the distance is a little tricky. Scav standing in the right spot. Let's see what happens.
He's got an opportunity here to make up a lot of ground, but it's mostly up to Rebenak here.
So far, very cooperative. Kills him so fast that he's still got a third of his life left on that life bar.
Nice job. So that 30-second lead is looking more like 15, I think, coming out of this palace.
Yeah, probably.
But Pierpont is still ahead.
And he didn't get an encounter on the island. Let's see if Scav manages to do it. Yep, no encounter on the island. That's one of those things where you can manipulate it to have a better than average chance, but there's not any way to guarantee that you're not going to get an encounter there. But yeah, he was lucky to get a cooperative Rebenak. And Pierpont on his way over to the Eastern Continent.
Yep, look how he handles encounters here, because it's really, yeah, it runs right into encounter there. There's really no good manipulation coming off of that dock.
Yep, you just dodge and dodge again, and hope that you get a good pattern.
Scavenger had a friend there coming along the road with him. He's got a troll fairy here. Probably, you know, not a big deal in this situation when you're not counting on any kind of manipulation. You're kind of just freeballing it. So he gets in without an encounter, and that's going to be another 5-7 seconds or so. Closing this gap here. There's a whole lot of encounter skips and encounter manipulations coming up, leading up to Palace 4, and I think it's entirely possible we could see multiple lead changes before Palace 4, based off of how that goes.
Yes, definitely. Alright, getting the fire spell. We may see the fire spell used at some point during this run. In almost every race we've seen it from at least one of the players in some spot. Sometimes we only see it at Dark Link just for novelty value, but a lot of people putting it to use.
I think everyone has some secret desire to just want to use fire in some way.
Right, just to shoot fire.
Yeah, they'll almost invent a reason. Like, well, you know, maybe I could get a couple extra, you know, 5% chance that maybe...
Right.
Screw it, I'm gonna do it.
Well, Pierpont walking through the forest here, he goes up into the desert for one step to trigger that last set, and he's fine. That manipulation isn't too hard. There's a few really bad patterns that'll not let you do that, but Scavenger doing a different version of that manipulation. Let's see how he handles the final set.
Does do the same
thing.
Yep, dip up into the desert there. So nicely done by both players. But there is a whole nother trek across that forest.
Which is, the next one's a little tougher.
Yeah. Scav
killing that Lizalfos pretty quickly.
he definitely has the edge in any of these combat situations. He's way more comfortable doing these double hits, and he's pausing a little bit on the stairs there as a fairy.
Yeah, it's easy to bump, and there's no collision resolution, so you just stick. Alright, Pierpont manages to make the dodge from the second set of encounters. Oh, that's unfortunate. It looked like he walked on the wrong steps, because that last set of encounters that spawned was a close spawn and not a far spawn. I think he probably wanted to walk a slightly different path. And then
Let's see how Scav...
Oh, yeah, let's see how Scav does it.
That's how it's supposed to be done there. Scavenger closing that gap just a little more.
Doesn't get the encounter skip, though. Neither player did, so that they still have one to go after that.
Looks like Pierpont gets it the second time.
Nice, Pierpont gets it. We'll see if Scav gets it as well. Oh, that was a tough one, but he did it.
Yeah, I think every monster just went straight towards him from all three directions.
Except the one that would have been the easy direction to come
Yes,
from.
naturally.
Alright, let's see super jump from Pierpont. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looked close. 6, that was too early.
And they're tied.
There it was. And then Scav, of course, makes it on the second try.
Nice.
And they're basically
I've never
tied.
seen
Yep.
a race jump equalize a race quite like it did just then. Still faster, I think, than going around for Pierpont. I think it was like 7th, maybe 8th.
Yep.
So it's borderline there.
Technically saving time, although compared to other speedrunners, you would never go around the other way, so it's really a matter of how quickly do you get it after the first try.
Yeah.
But yeah, about 2 seconds between these two right now.
A lot more than 2 seconds to be gained or lost based off of encounter skips on the way back,
Yep.
and once more crossing that long stretch of forest.
Yeah, I can guarantee you they will not be anywhere close to 2 seconds away from each other.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, guys. If they are, then I'll just call myself a liar and shut the stream off.
Yeah, no one will trust you ever again. So here it is. They grabbed the reflect spell. This is why they detoured for that child on Maze Island and then came all the way over here. And now they're going to go all the way back to the palace because you need this reflect spell in order to fight the boss. So go, encounter skips. Doesn't get great spawns here. Scavenger, gets... Wow, they both decide to head into the encounter at the exact same time.
Both in sync now. This is the encounter that's usually better to skip. If you're going to not skip one of them, you would pick the easier one. Pierpont goes right into the next one, doesn't even wait for an encounter. We get a direct comparison. Oh, no, we don't. Scavenger doesn't get the encounter skip.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah, to compare it with and without the encounter skip. Pierpont out on the other side. Here's the difficult manipulation. Let's see if he gets it.
Yep,
he knew
you
where
have
to pause.
Yes, nice.
Scav
We've
should
seen
also
a
know
lot of
where-
players pause buffer in the wrong place.
A lot of people pause buffer in the wrong spot.
Lucky backspawn, too.
Ooh, took one right before the bridge, but still, that was excellent. Scav had a fairy encounter. Oh, yeah, he went up so that he could do a little dip down just in case enemies spawned just before he got to the bridge.
Largely, that was very good by both players.
Yeah, both players obviously knew what they were doing there and executed very well. Scav running into a fairy is not really within his control. They both fairy because that is faster than going through the item pickup animation.
So they're heading to the palace, and I'm pretty sure they're less than 2 seconds apart.
Yep, they sure are. Wow. So I guess I'm a liar.
Yep, rip hat. You're gonna have to find one made of something edible.
I'll eat my hat.
It's chocolate. There's probably... That joke is common enough that someone out there
Has a chocolate.
has opened. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, like just like a website of edible hats for explicitly that purpose.
Website of edible hats.
It's probably I'llEatMyHat.com. And if it's not, excuse me, I need to go secure that domain.
Well, both players looking very similar in terms of their leveling. However, Scavenger has got a lot of XP there, 537. Let's see if these guys cast jump in this room. Scav is not going to do it. Pierpont is. Oh no, they both do. They both
Definitely
do.
the safe thing here.
Yep, that's the safe thing. We don't want to see one of these guys miss that jump because that is a massive time loss. Probably lose 45 seconds getting back there. And
So
now
we got
the big
jump from
question.
both.
Oh yeah, who's going to
Alright,
be
yeah.
taking the death abuse?
There is the life situation is different, right? Pierpont is down a life, I think.
Scav had accidental death. I don't think Pierpont did he?
Oh, I got it backwards, I think.
Neither player is taking a death here, although Scavenger did take Magic 4. Coming in here with Life 4 and Magic 3, I guess it would make sense to take Magic 4. He's going to need to earn, I think, a little bit more experience than someone who comes in with 3-3 and takes Life 4 instead. Scav gets a Ceiling Walk. Slight time savings, fraction of a second.
Oh, I didn't even realize you could do it in Palace Square.
Oh, you can
That's
do it
cool.
any place that you fall.
And so what do you think about Pierpont not taking the death abuse in the lava bridge room? Didn't get a jar, didn't death abuse.
I don't know. If he takes the other two, then I won't criticize.
All right, we'll see what he chooses to do. But it's these kinds of decisions are gonna, make or break him here with these guys so close.
Yeah, that's 10 seconds that you can gain by spending a life. So if you know that you got more lives than your opponent, and it's neck and neck, maybe you want 10 seconds. But I don't know. We'll see what he does with these other ones.
These bridge encounters are always a little nerve-wracking.
He does take the next death. Also remember that Pierpont grabbed a one-up from the graveyard, and Scavenger did not. And Scavenger
so
did.
they're even on lives here.
Yeah, and I think Scavenger took an intentional death at the Medicine Cave, didn't he?
Yes.
So yeah, Scav pretty low on lives. I'm not sure if he's going to take the death in the next lava room.
Well, they both have 3.
They both have 3.
Yeah, it had times 3
Oh, okay.
when both of them died there, which I was surprised too, but
So
that's
did
where
Pierpont
they're
have an
at.
extra death somewhere? I'm just trying to think of...
I think so.
What did I miss?
We've been casting too many of these races, they're all blurring together.
They do, yeah. Alright, still pretty close coming out of the breakable block room. Pierpont died trying to get the pea bag. That was his extra death.
I still don't remember exactly where it was, but I did seem to recall that he did die. And Scavenger did not die in
take a
Medicine
death in the
Cave.
Medicine Cave. Thanks.
That was where I think Pierpont's stream went down at that point, so we were a little distracted.
I was definitely distracted at that point. Okay, he didn't take an intentional death in there.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, because he went in with low life and low magic, and so I assumed he was going to take one. Alright, got the jump key there. Both players expending all their magic, but Pierpont gets a red jar, so he's back up to full magic. He does not need to take a death in this next lava room. But with 3 lives left, he might want to. Yep, that's why they're even. Okay.
Once again, they're neck and neck. We'll see what they do as they approach the third Third lava bridge. It seems like Scavenger is primed for a death if he does not get the jar. Really low on magic here.
Yeah, he can't even cast jump to get across these, so he has to stop and kill those heads. Pierpont gets a red jar. Scav tries to get a red jar. He was considering not taking the death, but no, he's going to have to take the death. He doesn't have any other choices. Pierpont does not
neck
take the
and
death.
neck
They're
again.
neck and neck again. Pierpont still has... Now he actually is a life ahead of Scavenger.
Yes. But there's not too many places left where a death can really save time. It just certainly is nice if you do accidentally die.
Yeah, to have that extra life. I mean, there's some places where you can take a death at the item room in Palace 5 or Palace 6 or something like that. And you get a bit of a death warp. It's not one of the most lucrative ones. Scan had to think about that 200 bag, but he is fine on experience in here. He's 744 and
He's pretty much a whole magic level ahead of Pierpont.
There's plenty of experience to make it up later, but let's see how this Carrick fight goes.
It's like horrible fights for both.
Yeah, neither of them very cooperative.
Oh, Scavs picks up all of a sudden. Pierpont getting maybe the worst Carrick I've ever seen.
This is a really bad Carrick, and he lost the lead there.
Jeez, man. So I want to see the split here. Crystalline there at 54:15 on his timer, so he is now 5 seconds behind.
5 seconds, yeah.
Thanks, Carrick.
Nice job, Carrick, deciding the outcome of races. Okay, I'm thinking we're going to see both of these players skip the heart container. Scav certainly does.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Pierpont went and grabbed it. Both these guys, based off of their play and the decisions they've made in this race, they definitely seem like they're comfortable with doing monster manipulations, so they're going to set up the river dance manipulation here coming out of Palace 5. Let's hope they remember the key. That would definitely separate this super, super close race here.
Yeah. So Scav right here is ferrying past this key. I see he's waiting around right there so that he doesn't bump into one of those skull bubbles. Pierpont also doing a similar sort of thing. Scav remembers to go back and get the key. Pierpont, go get it. Yep. So we're all set there.
Oh, nice. Using the beam sword to keep the bubble away there.
Yep. Not necessary, but it looks really cool when you do it.
Because Pierpont got tagged by the second bubble as he was going through the hallway as a fairy, so does not have beam sword.
Scav just loses a 200 bag drop, 200 bag fixed drop there.
Yeah, it's incinerated.
Incinerated. There is enough experience in this dungeon that he's probably going to be okay without it.
So there are these
844. That's normally what I would go up to in this dungeon, but he started at 844, and he just
got a Mago kill. Yeah. So these Magos are very lucrative. They die in 2 hits when you have attack 8, and they give you a whopping 200 experience, and they're all over the place. And if they cooperate, they can spawn in a place that gets you a kill without even stopping. But it's pretty rare that they do that. Though there are enough of them scattered throughout this palace. Man, this block's not going well for either player.
Definitely trying to outdo Carrick as far as their ability to decide the race. So Scav had a really not very clean block pattern, very hard to deal with. Just a giant stack that was too far away to use. Then he got a short stack of 2 that was too close for him to get a running start to get a high jump off of. And eventually he managed to make his way up to the key and then still couldn't dig his way out of there, whereas Pierpont pretty much got up to that key right away.
There's a Mago kill for Pierpont.
Yep, so he should be more than fine on experience as well. And once again, neck and neck.
Of course. At this point, I'm going to be shocked if there's some kind of If this is not decided by less than 30 seconds, I'm gonna be like, oh man,
I'll eat my
what a
hat
horrible,
again.
what a horrible race.
Yeah, this is a terrible race. We wanted a close one.
Another Mago kill for Pierpont, so he's definitely got the experience he needs. Through this invisible wall. Or is it it's a fake wall? It's visible when it shouldn't be.
It's a visible non-wall.
Yes. So this room can be tricky with the Magos here. Depending on where they spawn, these blocks prevent you from jumping over them, so you can get kind of stuck. The dog heads don't help either.
Yeah, they sure don't. They spawn infinitely, they drain your experience, and they do, I don't know, non-trivial amount of damage. The worst thing is getting a fire right at the edge of one of those blocks, so you can't jump over it. Fairy from Pierpont. I'm not sure. Oh, Scav's not going to take a level up. Get that glitch
Color
right
glitch.
there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's from a level up happening while the screen flashing is going on. Or it's while the item pickup is going on, rather. It makes the screen flash.
So let's see, Pierpont getting to this elevator. Alright, he's out of this troublesome room. Scavenger, a little banged up here. Not a lot of magic, a little low in life, but he's out of there.
Well, Scav's going to get... Well, they're both going to get a red jar coming out of this key area. They're going to have a shot at a red jar. Well, a guaranteed red jar. That's going to be enough for Pierpont, but Scavenger's still going to be a bit behind in terms of his resources.
Good key grab from Pierpont. Let's see, Scavenger.
Oh, nice one from Scavenger.
Nails it. Yeah.
Bounce off the key, bounce off the wall, and change direction.
That's the bad break special. When he remembers to get a key, he always gets it in
He gets it
style.
well. Yeah, so Scav gets the red... Pierpont gets the red jar. And now he casts life. And Scav fills up. He's got Beam Sword now, and mostly full magic, so he's in good shape as long as he doesn't... Well, he can afford to cast life one more time on the amount of magic he's got right now.
Let's see if he knows it, though. It's a little hard with the magic because there is a very explicit number that you have. You know, you cap out at 128 magic, but it's really hard to tell exactly how much you have looking at that meter. But I think he's well aware that he's got enough to do it here.
Pierpont saving the red jar. He goes underneath that statue head on the wall, which would contain a red jar. If you wanted to save all the time that you can, you would get that on the way in and not backtrack for it later. Scav gets it right away, and he's at full magic, full life, and he's just got to hope he doesn't get too banged up in this area here, because he wants to keep all that magic and life for the Gooma fight. That's the reason Pierpont waited on that red jar, is he wants it right before Gooma.
Oh, we're seeing this this backdoor key grab here.
I had never seen this until these races started, but it's the avoid the blue iron knuckle strat. It can be an annoying fight sometimes, being in a low ceiling, but a ceiling with breakable blocks that you'll accidentally glitch into sometimes. It's kind of
You
irritating.
can see there, though, just how much slower it is. Scavenger pretty much catching right up.
Caught right up, yeah. Nice beam sword from Scav there on that skull bubble. And now Pierpont's going to lose the time. He's just going back for the red jar that Scav just
There it
got
is.
on the way in.
Another lead change.
And they're both in really good shape with resources, completely full on everything. We're going to see shield cast from each of these guys, and then probably queue up the life spell after that. Yep, that's what Scav does. Oh, did he cast jump?
I think he did. So he's going to go over Gooma and come around from the other side here. That has its own
Life.
advantages.
Life.
You want
There we
life,
go.
don't cast jump again.
Yeah, I don't know if he intended to cast jump. Some people do like jump for this boss.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes it a lot harder to land hits on him.
Well, yeah, you don't land the hits as quickly without it, or with the jump spell rather. But it is a bit safer when you use jump, because you can jump right over his mace.
But his whether it was intentional or not, it did cost him quite a bit of time here. Scavenger already got the heart container. Does he soft lock the game? No, he does not.
He waits so he doesn't soft lock. Good for him. Got Pierpont coming in, free cast of the fairy spell because he's about to get his magic refilled by the level ups that are going to happen to him. Both players right now with 866, and they're going to save the remaining 3,300. Dead even again. We'll see the river dance. They both take 2 extra steps, completely even with each other.
Yeah, you're gonna see that gap reappear though, because Pierpont is gonna take a whole bunch of level ups.
Something happened on Scavenger's screen.
Yeah. I was looking forward to synchronized river dance, but
and a fence skip from Pierpont. Oh, it just gets better and better for him.
So now while he takes all these level ups, we'll see how close Scavenger can get. This fence skip would really help here.
He did not have the right monster set up for it. Nothing he could do about that. So Scav chooses to fairy in here. This is a pretty decent strat because you won't get any of the knockback from these fireballs that these things throw. But Pierpont is already ferrying through the second fence encounter that Scav is just now entering, but they are equal in terms of how many levels they've taken, so at least that difference has been removed.
There's some very tough encounter manipulations coming up, or I mean, I don't even know if I'd call them manipulations. You kind of just pause buffer at the right time and
slink by.
Pray a little bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can slink or you can go for the direction that the thing doesn't spawn in. But we see Pierpont goes into the bridge to reset his counters, onto the swamp to spawn a distant set of encounters, and pause buffer right there. With that pattern, he could have taken a step back to the left, and then up, and then to the right, and maybe tried to dodge by those guys.
Instead, it looked like he just kind of froze up.
Yeah, he just kind of froze up. Scav pause buffer, but went the wrong way. And Pierpont did get an encounter right there in front of the cave. Let's see if Scav can make it in the cave without another encounter.
We'll be right back.
Ooh, he got they were looking like good spawns, but
yeah,
nothing he could have done there either.
Tektite cave here. We're not going to see fire strats from these players.
I guess not.
Some people like to set up a magic drop here, or also in the Palace 6.
Oh,
I think we may have lost Pierpont again.
Another stream drop from Pierpont. Let me get him up on another screen. Sorry guys, we'll have him back here in a second. Sorry about that, guys.
Are we back?
Yeah, we got both screens up again.
Alright, so I have Scavenger leaving the...
right
I forgot which
now.
place he was in, actually, yeah.
And then we got Pierpont going through a door now. And going by the fountain now.
Alright, so I'm just a tiny bit behind. I'm probably gonna... If I try to go further and I'll mess with it, so I'll probably screw it up, so I'll just leave it. Pierpont is actually ahead.
No, we're pretty much in the same synchronization we were in before, so I think we're okay. Pierpont ferrying for that.
So the big places to save and lose time here are going to be heading down to the heart container, And then there's a couple trouble spots in Palace 6. And then you got Valley of Death, Great Palace. So there's plenty of opportunity for Scavenger to catch up, or for Pierpont to pull further away. So the way this race is going, I'm sure that they'll sync right up again.
It's been it so far. Well, the coming up right here is one of the hardest set of encounters to get through in the run, so I think we won't see these players at exactly this distance from each other at the end of this. So Pierpont gets a real wild set of monster spawns, doesn't even try to pause buffer out of it. Hits one of them. Will he get out of the trees before the next set of monsters appears? He does, but he manages to hit him anyway. Usually getting out of the trees onto the desert makes it a little easier because the monsters will spawn farther away.
Yeah,
and here
they closed right in on him.
Yeah, there's no good there. He probably could have avoided it if he had done some pause buffering and some fancy footwork. But here he goes into Palace 6. There we go.
Scavenger left himself without any room to slink, basically.
Ooh, manages to get tagged by a large monster encounter. So he's just now getting the heart container. This may be the farthest apart we've seen these two players this whole race.
And it's not that far apart either. I think we're looking at maybe 40 seconds.
Alright, Scav jackhammering. That thing makes the... Oh, he doesn't make the 4-block gap.
Oh,
So he's going to have to
it
fall.
looked good.
Yeah, it looked alright. So he's going to have to fall another 2 times.
So that is not what he's looking for here when he's trying to catch up. But there's a lot of other things that can go wrong for Pierpont here, so all he needs to do really is stick to his game plan, play nice and solid, and see what happens.
Pretty decent Ribbonac kill. Anytime you can kill him fast enough that you can still catch his horse as he runs away, means you've done a good job. Not what we would call a quick kill, though. We've seen some pretty interesting quick kills. It's a surprisingly hard thing to get right. We've seen a lot more people successfully jackhammering Barba than we have successfully execute a Ribbonac quick kill.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. There's something attractive, I think, about the jackhammer on Barba, that players just get lured to learning that strat and using it.
Oh, Scav doesn't manage to get the quick kill there either, but that's still a very decent kill.
Yep. Could have grabbed the horse there, save it for later, so you don't have to cast Fairy, just ride the hover horse across the lava room.
Across the lava room, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's an advanced strat, not many people think of it, but yeah. I'm gonna take the Zelda 2 community by storm with new meta.
Oh, Scav goes for a red jar, but gets it right Iron Knuckle. And I was worried he's going to fall in the hole there. Pierpont goes for a ceiling walk, and doesn't get it.
Pretty close, though.
Yep, ceiling walk's just a minor time savings, not nothing critical to the run. Doesn't really matter if you get it or not. It just looks cool.
Very cool.
And the spell. I was wondering if he was going to pull that out. If you have enough magic, cast spell in that room, turn those flying heads into bots, and everything's okay.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the trouble spots of this palace, where things can go wrong.
Scav is trying to set up a ceiling walk. I think he bumped too hard. I don't think he's got it.
Yeah.
You want to touch that wall just as the transition happens. Alright, Pierpont turning to Fairy here. He's got enough magic for all the rest of his magic casting. So he should be all set. Scav also fine on magic. Both these players using exactly the same leveling scheme here, too.
Yep. Very, 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 very even. In every conceivable way.
Scav going back for the red jar. Not even necessary, but it does give him a refill of his health. Yeah, you can cast it again. Chooses not to. He wasn't sure exactly what his magic was before hitting that jar, but he probably could have cast life one more time. And still been at full magic, or close to it.
Can you hold down the casting the magic button when you come out of the menu to sort of buffer it?
Nope.
So I wonder if he was thinking, like, if I don't hit it fast enough, I'm gonna, hit the cap on my magic and then actually lose the life spell cost.
Maybe. I think he was probably thinking back to how much magic he had when he got that jar, when he hit that jar, if it was enough for 2 lives or not. Alright, so we've got another Rebanak fight coming up here.
Went pretty good for Pierpont, who is now down at Barba. Misses both hits there, and he goes for this bouncing, so this is not a good Rebanak fight.
Oh, wow.
Pierpont does not get a 1 cycle on Barba. Did not go for the jackhammer.
Yeah, he got 2 cycle. Fortunately, good spawn the second time it appeared.
Yeah, the first spawn is always going to be in the same spot as long as you keep moving to the right when you enter the room. But the second time, you don't know. So if he's on the other side of the room, you can do some desperation strats to get all the way over there and finish him off, but it's not fun. Let's see how this goes for Scavenger. One of these really great opportunities to make up time here. He's
Pretty
setting up
solid.
for the jackhammer. Combines it with this regular strats for sort of hybrid maneuver. Definitely a cleaner kill than Pierpont. That's exactly the kinds of thing he needs to do here to catch up and get back in this race.
Yeah, he's not too far behind. I think he was a lot further behind entering Pal 6 as coming out of it. And I like that Barba kill. We'll call it the half hammer. Do a half jackhammer and then just half jump strats.
There's a better wordplay in there somewhere, I think. But for now, we'll call it the half hammer. It's better than Jack Haffer. That's
yeah,
for
I think
sure.
Jack Haffer doesn't sound quite right. Right there, the 2 players passing each other.
Yep. One of them blocked the doorway for the other one.
Right, yeah. Pierpont,
Sorry.
fairy strats immediately. Not even going to take the risk of getting knocked in or knocked back. I think that's really smart, especially if you're ahead, even by a relatively small amount. I think you should use fairy strats and then go for the red jar and Valley of Death. Another fairy strat right there.
Now, this does open the door for Scavenger to try to make up time by skipping the red jar and not ferrying across these bridges. However, it's very dangerous, and if he takes the death or ends up having to cast fairy anyway, it's likely that he's lost himself time here when he's really trying to gain time.
No, he's using the fairy strats.
Yeah, this is not where he's going to try to make his stand here to catch up. He's going to do it elsewhere.
Speaking of catching up elsewhere, Pierpont just ran into an encounter in the graveyard. He did not get that encounter skip. And so that is going to make up a bit of time for Scavenger. Pierpont does get it the second time, though.
And there's the red jar.
He was considering casting... Oh, I think he did cast life.
So here we go. Valley of Death. Ooh, does not get a good spawn there.
He makes it. Scav makes the encounter skip. Pierpont, though, is already 2 encounters ahead of him. Things going pretty well for him so far, but a failed encounter skip up here might still set him back. Scav going with that free overflow cast of fairy that he got from the red jar. Taking a lot of hits in the process, but he made it through pretty quickly. I didn't see if Pierpont got the skip there.
I did not see. I feel like he had enough time to react there without a pause buffer.
He didn't.
Oh man, so now they are very, very close.
Yep, Pierpont gets it the second time around, and now Scav is just 1 encounter behind him. Scav gets it right away. It's just got a lot closer.
There's a lot of things in Great Palace that can, they might not kill you or cause like a disastrous 40-second setback, but there's lots of places where you can lose 2, 3, 4 seconds, and those can add up real fast. So Scavenger's definitely got a good shot here.
Using the spell strats there to turn the Scorpion into a bot. Not a bad play. Pierpont misses the first counter skip. Let's see if he can get it on the second try. Oh, he did not.
Wow.
So we may have another lead change here. Yeah, Scav is through it. Pierpont finally gets it on this attempt. So
there it is.
He's a little bit behind, but not much.
Man, we've had some close races before, but I think this one maybe takes the cake here. The back and forth, I think, is the best part here.
Yeah, these races have been getting closer and closer the further we get to the end of the tournament. Both players, what's the life situation? Is anybody down to their last life? I feel like they both at least got one more to spare.
I think they both have 2 extra lives.
And then Scav getting his magic 8 right here, and I think Pierpont's going to do the same thing, because they're both all out of magic. So they start Palace 8 with a fresh supply of magic. Both of them have the ability to take an intentional death at the end of this dungeon to get their magic refilled for Thunderbird. We very well might see that. Anyone who's ahead by more than, I don't know, 10 seconds should definitely just take a death there before Thunderbird to get themselves refilled, but that might not even be necessary depending on what kind of red jar luck they get.
Both these players have been really on top of their game here, so I'm pretty sure both of them are confident in their ability to fight Thunderbird as long as they go in there with the life and the magic and the stats and everything. So yeah, I really don't think they're going to see any hesitation to take a death as long as they have that extra life there.
Mm-hmm.
See how these blocks go. About the same for each player.
Yep, Scav coming out of that room just as Pierpont's at about the halfway point.
It's not easy to break both with one swing. Playing it safe with the Bird Knight there. As Pierpont just charges past him. It's hung up on the blocks a little bit. It's a tiny, tiny mistake, but these tiny mistakes are going to add up and decide who wins this thing, because there's not much game left.
Oh, Scav getting these flying heads a little bit out of sync here, which is pretty rough, but he's going for a red jar now, does not get it. Question is, will he go back for it?
Yeah, he got one of them back down to earth, but every time he jumped over that one, he spawned the other one high, and it's hard to deal with. So, no red jar for Pierpont either.
Pierpont does not go back for it.
Yep, neither player, so... Huh. Man. So close here. Oh, these blocks. This race is going to be decided not by Thunderbird, not by Bird Knights, but by blocks. So he's chipped away the 5th block there. That opens the door for this Bird Knight to follow him as he digs through here. Or, wait, no.
No, he's fine.
He's fine.
Ooh, man. Alright, relatively easy spicy chicken skip. In a big open room with no obstacles, not too bad. Cast shield preemptively for this Bird Knight. Not a bad play there, considering the amount of magic he had left.
Yep, I agree. Very smart. That Bird Knight can give you some really troublesome patterns, and he cannot afford to exit the room and respawn him here. Pierpont doing the same, especially when he has that much life. He's trying to get through this bubble here. Again, these blocks, just getting hung up on these blocks. Tiny little bits here and there.
Upstab on the giant bot. Pierpont passing the final enemy.
He's stopping to kill this chicken here because it's safer than trying to jump over it. Gets
He's
caught
so low on health.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
And Scavenger takes his death there in the lava area, refills his life and magic, heading into the Thunderbird fight. And I feel like this race is kind of his to lose at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's far enough behind, because Pierpont's going to take a death someplace, probably the lava right here.
Mm-hmm.
There he goes. Yeah, so Scav's going to have to die for him not to win. And he's got Magic 8, so he's in great shape. Full health coming in here. He's got all the spells cast.
Fully buffed, lands the early hit. He's going for the controlled dolphin.
That was a pretty controlled dolphin there.
Yeah, he wrangled that dolphin real good. And Thunderbird is down. Dark Link is the only thing standing between him and advancing in this tournament. And he's got plenty of life and plenty of magic for the shield spell, unless he wants to go with fire. But I don't know, after a race this close, that's pretty ballsy. Let's see how Pierpont does here. Not a great Thunderbird. Looking like a 3 cycle here. More like a 4 cycle.
Well, it's all up to Dark Link now.
It would take a completely disastrous Dark Link for this to get away from Scavenger. I would be completely floored if it happened. So it's pretty much a victory lap at this point.
There we go.
There it is. It is official. Scavenger is finished in first place with a time of 1:22.59. He advances in the Zelda 2 100% All Keys tournament and is the winner of one of our most exciting back and forth closest races yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job by both these players. Here's Pierpont finishing up Dark Link here. He's got the shield spell. He's got 4 blocks of life. Not a threat. Knows how to dodge these hits.
Yeah, pretty cooperative Link. And he clocks in at the 1:23.35.
Improves his personal best race time by over a minute.
Huh.
Nice job.
Yep. As far as his actual PB, he's about a minute and a half behind his actual PB of a 1:22.05. So pretty good for a race, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's not happy with his performance, he definitely helped create one of the most interesting races.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. But I think both these guys should be happy with their performance during this race. I know the viewers certainly are. If you really liked this race as much as I did, what you should do is follow the runners and let them know what you think about this race, because I'm sure they'd love to hear it. That's twitch.tv/Skavenger216 and twitch.tv/PierpontLempkin. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get Scavenger in the Skype call here and do an interview with the winner. Add people to this call. You're already well ahead of me. So we'll get him in here.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Hi, nice race.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you. That was kind of a train wreck, but
I don't think
fun.
so. It was really exciting. Regardless of performance and my personal best and all that, you guys made one of the best races of the tournament so far. So
I was
there's that.
peeking over at the speed gaming chat. I seen how many times people were saying like we were pretty much synced up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Numerous times, and not only that, but you also traded the lead multiple times. So it was interesting in a lot of different ways. We were counting seconds in all kinds of places, and he's only 5 seconds back. Oh, neck and neck. Oh, it's great. So let's see. Thinking back, there was an accidental death, right? Early on?
Yes. Palace 2 was the only unintentional death.
Right. Yes.
It was in the glove room. I got into a little bit of trouble with the red iron knuckle.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Didn't you
like,
die
what?
in Death Mountain?
I did not.
Really? Okay.
I think he would know. So
Yeah, I guess you would know.
I came really close, but yeah, I didn't. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
die.
right. You were really close, but managed to make it
Yeah.
through there.
And I feel like I played well for the most part. It was mostly just encounters.
yes, the encounters got the best of both of you. Actually, every time it went poorly for one of you, it went poorly for the other, and every time it went well, it was the same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the encounters definitely. Like coming out of Palace 2, I think there was like 3 encounters in the swamp for maybe both of you. It was pretty bad there. But it was a really good highlight of just how important managing encounters is. Like we saw you go all out on Helmet Head, right? You guys are pretty much synced up at Helmet Head, and you had some double hits and some down stabs, and you finished them off with some style, and you saved maybe a second, maybe. And then you got an extra encounter coming out of Palace 2, I think. And suddenly you're 6 seconds behind, right? So
Yeah,
it's just like that's just how important it is to do everything you can to get through these encounters.
indeed. I'm quite happy with how Thunderbird went.
Yeah, you did say the last time we were casting a race that you've got the dolphin under control.
Yeah, I mean that was a
proved it
casual
there.
2 cycle.
Yep, that was really impressive. Nice cherry on top there at the end.
I like my
Karok.
half hammer.
Oh yeah, yes, the half hammer. That is what we decided to call it.
The Jack Haffer?
No, we did not like Jack Haffer. We definitely preferred half hammer. Karok went pretty horribly for both of you, but especially horrible for Pierpont. As bad as yours was, his was about 3 to 5 seconds worse.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was really bad.
They were both bad, though. It was a synchronized train wreck. That
He
fight.
did attack 4 coming out of Palace 1.
He did. He had that
Ouch.
advantage over you.
Alright, so I was definitely playing from behind there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would, but you would keep up because you were doing double hits on a lot of enemies that he wasn't. So all those fights where you should be losing just a little bit of time, you kind of weren't, and that helped you stay in it long enough to catch up on experience and get back in it.
Yeah, that's something I just recently got pretty good at, was the double hits. And it's something worth learning. I mean, it's a minor time save per enemy, but it adds up.
Exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that, how as a newer player jumping into this tournament, you've only got so much time to practice before you have to do these races in the tournament. So you kind of like what we do on Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming League rather. You have to sort of allocate your practice time towards certain things, and definitely encounters is a really good thing to put that time towards. And double hits, you take a look at it and you're like, that's really hard and it only saves a little bit of time. So I don't know. So I think that's generally fair. It's accurate. So when a player does start learning double hits and executing on them like you did in a race, it says to me that this player is really putting the time in and is really interested in getting one of those top tier times.
Yeah, I mean, I was always doing double hits, but I was doing them slightly differently. I would do like a falling crouch stab and then a rising crouch stab, which gets the same job done, but I think it's slightly slower.
And you just started learning the game that way?
No, it was when I started grinding out glitched any percent really that made me learn the old method of double hits I was doing.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I think
'cause that's a pretty huge time saving, glitched any percent, especially.
Oh, sure,
in farming.
yeah. There's only so much going on. It's not an hour of 10 in glitched any percent. So any little time savings becomes that much more important.
Exactly.
Well, your next match is going to be up against Dazzle. What do you think about that? He's the number 4 seed. You came in the number 12 seed, so not that much different.
There's a lot different there. I think his PB's like 5 minutes better than mine or something.
He is a much
There's a bit of a gap there.
Yeah. I have to hope that I get a PB and that he game overs like 3 times.
I think it's more like game over once, but you're right. It's gonna take something special. So What do you do in that situation? Do you just try to stick to your guns and do the best that you can, your game plan, or do you just go all out?
I think in that case, I just go all out and hope it works.
Well, the
All
other,
right.
In my head, it's already a loss, so why not just go all out with it?
it's true.
Okay. I hope everyone keeps an eye out for that race then, because it could turn out to be horrible. You could go down in flames immediately, or you could make some heroic stand. So maybe either way, people want to see. I don't know. That's a bit mean. I don't think people want to see someone get blown up like that, but people definitely do want to see what Scavenger does when he's backed into a corner like that, I think.
Yeah, I'm predicting a loss, but we'll see. I'm gonna try.
I'm trying to hype it up here, man.
Well, the low expectations, though, it takes the pressure off a bit. You figure
Yeah, that's
not
true.
a critical
Nothing to
match.
lose,
just,
right?
Yeah, just relax and just play Zelda 2 as if there's no one else there.
Exactly.
Speedrun like there's no one watching.
That's right. Well, we should also thank Scavenger for making these lovely backgrounds that we've been enjoying in all these streams right here.
No problem, guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they're so well received.
Yes, they're
I
a hit,
almost
man.
didn't show them
Everyone
to
loves them.
everybody after I made them.
It is absolutely okay to mention that other tournament, Zero Knowing, because we're wrapping up here on Speed Gaming. That's it for Zelda 2 tonight. I don't think there's any races scheduled for next week yet, but you're gonna want to go to this link in chat, and there is a link to the schedule, and you want to keep an eye on that because that is where next week's races are going to start appearing. And if you don't want to keep on top of it that way, you can follow us on Twitter at Speed Gaming Show, or you can follow us on the Twitch channel. That's a bit late, maybe, but you can follow us there, and you'll see us when we go live. But there are other places hosting these races, so you definitely want to, just to take a peek at the schedule. Maybe we'll try to tweet out when races are starting on other channels. I don't know. But there's the Zelda 2 tournament is spread out all over the place. So if you want to track it all down, you want to go to that challenge.com Zelda 2 link. Once again, I'm going to post the runners here in chat.
Yep. Follow these runners to thank them for the show they put on for you today. An excellent race. 2 really good Zelda 2 speedrunners that you got to see.
And
so
then-
just stay tuned to check the challenge to know when the next races are going to come.
Yeah, yep. And then after all that, you want to go to twitch.tv/bestofness right now, because the Zelda 1 final is heating up over there.
Yeah, it's the grand finals right now. Well, they might do another one after this, right? If Crystal save or if Lack Attack wins.
Yeah, basically the brackets could be reset here.
Yep. So just head over to Best of Nest channel. That's what I recommend everyone do now, and watch the rest of the Zelda 1 tournament having
That's
its
what I'm
finals
gonna
tonight.
do. I'm out of here.
That's it.
Yeah, and thanks to both of you guys for doing all these restreams for us. You guys always do an amazing job with these.
Thank
Aw,
you.
shucks.
It was our
Thank you very
pleasure.
It was our pleasure.
I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Yep.